Good morning. Good morning. See if I can get this in the stand properly. Right here. You matter. I put that up there, and my customers, they love it. Um, they absolutely love it. Yep. Good morning. I am cleaning la pistola while we're chatting here. I haven't cleaned it or lubed it in a while. So I'm going to do that real quick while we wait for people to file in here. Yeah, migrants are still getting dropped off here. Um, they said there was confirmed buses there was like 2 or 3 of 10 that already showed up, and there was supposed to be up to 9 in one day, and then they try to suppress the information getting out, and then all of a sudden it's back to nothing's going on again, and then you haven't seen it in the news lately because not a lot of people, the news agencies are covering it. I think there's a lot of stuff going on that, like the police and stuff like that, are being told not to report on because they don't want to they don't want to make them look. Use a little Marvel on I use Marvel on mine. Um, they don't want to make it look bad. And then there's like the whole fiasco with Illinois right now and the whole gun ban, assault weapon ban that's going through like multiple chains of judges looking at it. And I don't know. I can't follow everything that's going on with it. It's just not my thing to sit there and, follow every step because no matter whatever they choose to do, that's what they're going to do. But luckily, I had my stuff before all this went down, so I ain't got to worry about it. Sucks for everybody else, though. Sucks moving forward. It sucks that people can't do and, act, train, buy what they want the way they want. I think people in general need to remember that it's not the device that's being used that's hurting people. It's the person behind the device that's choosing to use it the way that they do. And we just need to do better with who we're allowing to purchase and do better vetting and understand that because of mental health doesn't mean people should have their rights taken away from them. That's facts. We need to do better in the United States with our mental health, and we don't do enough with it. We don't have enough programs and money involved in it. We don't look into it enough. We don't address it enough. And there's plenty of people that need help, and they can't get help because they don't have insurance or they don't have the means of getting to a doctor. That's the problem. The problem is we're like one of the worst countries in trying to take care of what we should be taking care of. We like to point the finger and address all these other issues and try to disarm the population, and make them take their rights away because we don't want to address the problem at hand. problem at hand is these nasty foods that we're eating. Everything's got preservatives in it. Everything's got some kind of, everything's mass produced. Everything's force grown. The family nucleus is constantly being attacked and broken. Men are constantly being attacked for being men. Masculinity is constantly being attacked, and the media is doing a huge job of participating in this. And it's sad because as a man, I feel like I have to watch what I say now because I might offend somebody for being manly. And when you start raising a society, a population, a generation of the next person that's going to be representing us here as a body, it's sad because we're taking away the very human nature that they have, the instinct that they're supposed to have to feel and act the way that they do. Women are supposed to act like women, men are supposed to act like men. That's how I see things. And for instance, I'll give you an example, and it's a sucky example, but it's an example. Over the last couple months, I've been dealing with some on and off stuff with my fiance and friends, her friends, not my friends. My friends are all dudes. I don't have no female friends really. And females and males, they do things differently. Men, we'd rather beat the crap out of each other or something like that, or not have anything to do with each other than sit around and just fight. It's just not worth it to us. Women will sit and bicker and try to go back and forth and try to play drama and emotions and everything else in each other's life, and they'll fester it. They'll let it just egg on and egg on and egg on and egg on. And that's supposedly, that's normal. That's how they're built, and that's how we're built. We don't want to partake in that type of atmosphere as much as they do. We are built different, We're not the same. We're not equal by any means. So people that go through life thinking that we're equal, that we think the same way, that we act the same way, that we have the same abilities and stuff, they're lost. They're part of this problem that society is perpetuating. And we're constantly attacking the values and stuff of people in society in general, like the morals, the values, the standards, and we're trying to make it seem like men shouldn't be men. They shouldn't be masculine. They shouldn't be all macho and bravado and trying to protect their family and stuff. I mean, I feel like a freaking beast. I'm a man. I got testosterone going through my blood. I'm aggressive. That's how I want to act. I want to protect my family. I want to be strong for my family. I don't want nobody to talk down to my wife, my kid, or anything like that. I will ruin somebody for disrespecting my family. That's how I want to be. That's how I am. And that's how I want my kid to be. And that's it. It's what do I have? It's a Glock 45 Gen 5. I see more now than ever in the areas where there is heavily populated, let's just call it illegal immigrants instead of just illegals. But I see more now than ever. The restaurants and stuff are really being filled up by these people. I don't know how they're coming up with the money. I don't know how they're able to take out 5, 6, 7, 10 people. Sometimes there's multiple tables full, and you don't see nothing but Hispanic origin people in these restaurants where it used to be mixed. It used to be diverse. You used to see white and black and Asian, Mexican, everybody all together. You don't see that anymore. We went to dinner last night, and when we walked in, we were like, wow. This don't even look like the same place anymore. How how are they able to get this type of money and be able to afford to pay for a family of 5 or 10? Or I I- I was baffled by it because it was shocking to me. And it's ridiculous because I noticed that a lot of these people that come here um, lately that are illegal, they have this mindset and this attitude that you're supposed to move out of their way. You're supposed to do for them. You're supposed to cater and take care of them because that's their right to have that here in the United States that they came to illegally. And it's sad. It's sickening because that's what we're dealing with. And I this is the way that you turn somebody prejudiced or racist. This is exactly what the media and the government are doing. They are turning people into. I've never heard so many people now say some of the most derogatory things that they've said since all this started going on. Let's just say over the last year. I mean, it's going on longer than that. I've never heard so many people so biased and so angry towards a group of people than I have over the last year. And it's not the people themselves, it's the government that is allowing it to happen. And it's ruining people. It's ruining the way people see other countries, the way they see how other people live. It's the Joe Bidens of the world that are, yeah, oh yeah, I want them to flood the border. I want them to come. I want them to get all this free stuff and care and stuff that the United States is going to provide. When the Supreme Court has already ruled that somebody that doesn't have citizen status here in the United States is not eligible to vote. What's the scheme? What is the benefit to what this party is doing? If the Supreme Court has already ruled that they cannot vote if they're not citizens, what is the process and what is the plan before election time to get these people citizens? Are they really going to fast track them that fast? Are they really going to make them citizens that fast? Or are they just going to allow anybody to come in and vote? You know, these businesses that we have here, these businesses are not hiring Americans. These businesses aren't doing it. You're seeing less and less Americans in general of all colors working in these businesses. They are taking advantage of the cheaper labor and they are paying these people next to nothing to get them to come in and do the work. And they already had people working there, but they'd rather pay somebody cheap that's desperate than what their value actually is for providing a service to a company that's making money off of the public. And it's not just businesses. It's landowner, like apartment owners, property owners and stuff like that are kicking American citizens out of their apartments so they can sign up for government contracts and house illegals. They can put, up to 10 people in an apartment or, 20 people in an apartment. And when they have dual, triple level apartments, 120 people in an apartment building, each all having a cot, a bed, and the government is allowing it to happen. The city is passing or overlooking the ordinances and stuff and allowing it to happen. And there are some of these people that are trying to figure out squatters' rights. They're trying to figure out if they take over an abandoned property or a property where somebody hasn't been home in a while or something like that, or it doesn't look like anybody lives there even though somebody still owns it, what can they get away with? And we've seen it on multiple occasions that they've been in people's property or on somebody's property and they could not be removed, or the city or the police refused to remove them. Here in Oklahoma, they're registered to vote when they get a license. Who's going to prove they aren't? They have a license and look legit. Exactly, and that's the thing is like it's not hard for them to get a driver's license here in Illinois either. They can go to the DMV and schedule, or they can go online and schedule an appointment to go take the Hispanic test, the Spanish test, and pass it. And when they pass it, then they go take the driving test. They just find like a DMV or something like that that's predominantly run by Hispanic people, and they get right through. Driver's license, legit, everything, can insurance. They have these Hispanic insurance companies popping up all over the Chicagoland area, and they literally can go in and get insurance for next to nothing. Some people, some of these insurance companies are actually, they will insure them, but they're taking advantage of the situation, and they're like, "Oh, you want insurance? Well, these other, did you check anywhere else? Did you get quotes anywhere else?" Um, yeah, but they were extremely high and they wouldn't work with me because I didn't have certain documentation. Okay, well, my insurance agency will work with you, where we are a high risk insurance company. So instead of you paying, $80 a month for the insurance on that Nissan Maxima, you're going to pay $190 a month. Sign them up for it. It's no skin off their ass. What are they going to do? They sign them up for it. It's so easy to get an ID. People make it seem like it's difficult to get an ID, and you literally don't. I know somebody that went online. He's a friend. Look, he's a friend. I'm not fat. I'm not, but he's going through, what do you call it? The DACA process, where he's got a lawyer and there's like paperwork and everything else involved, and he's paying taxes and got an ITIN number, all this other stuff, and he's paid tons of money into the system to go through the legal court process to be here. And before he even got involved in any of that stuff, he was like, he just flat out told me, all I did was just go on the immigration website and I scheduled an appointment to go to the DMV, and I just took my old ID from where I came from and I showed them that, and I didn't have any paperwork because I didn't come here like everybody else does. I didn't come here to receive handouts from the American people and the government and stuff like that. I came here, went right to a lawyer, hired a lawyer, got put right in the process, and now I'm going to all my court dates and stuff like that. And he said, I run my own business. I pay taxes and stuff just like everybody else does, but I've been doing this for like almost 10 years now, and I still am not completely through the process. And it keeps getting pushed back because all these illegals that are coming in here and these lawyers that are taking on these caseloads and stuff like that, they're pushing my process of actually finishing up my naturalization or my citizenship here. I can't get it. It was 3 months out, and then it was a year out, and now he said it's like almost 3 years out, and I can't finish my process because all these new illegal people coming in here are flooding the system. And he said all I did was just go online and schedule an appointment, took the test, passed the test. The next week went and took the driving test, had my driver's license a couple weeks later. Said it wasn't hard at all. All I had to do was show him my old ID from where I came from. That was it. Who you didn't know who was applying for citizenship? Who are you talking about? No, not me. I'm a citizen, man. It's what I'm sorry. I'm a citizen. Uh, my message is this: is stick to your guns. Stick to what you believe in. Stick to your morals. Protect your family. Be masculine. Don't be afraid to be masculine. Don't be, and women, don't be afraid to support your men. Don't be afraid to promote that masculinity and let them know that it's okay to be aggressive. It is okay to want to provide an aggressive, stable stance in protecting your family. But you can do it passively. You don't have to do it to where the world needs to know you're aggressive. Don't be afraid to do that. Masculinity is not dead, and it doesn't need to be dead. And I would like for people to promote more of it. Be bravo, be strong. Be Have an ego about being a strong man in your family. Push that narrative because it's not dead and it doesn't need to be dead. You don't have to be the most fit or the most handsome looking dude in the world or most beautiful woman in the world to feel respected by your partner, and make sure that society is respecting you. And then you can choose whether or not you want to deal with certain people. You don't want to respect me because I'm too masculine for you, then I don't need you in my life. Men, don't be afraid to be men. Exactly. She said, I love the toxic masculinity of my husband. You know what? It is what it is. And I had a friend of mine that put something in perspective the other day, and I never thought about it the way he said it. And I love him to death because when I talk to him, I'm going to get emotional. I'm not trying to get emotional. I'm trying to be masculine right now. When I talk to him, it's like wisdom just comes out of his mouth. And he's not much older than me. But what he said the other day, I've been playing in my head over and over again. He said, "Rich, me and you, we speak very good to people. We speak and people listen. We are smart, but we're also narcissistic." And I said, "What do you mean by that?" And he said, "Every one of us have some type of narcissistic ability in us. But guys like us that really know how to communicate, that really know how to get into people's feelings and stuff like that, can be very narcissistic. You understand that, right?" And I said, "I never thought about it that way." And he said, "Oh, yeah, all of us, man, all men and women too, but all men have an ability to be an extreme version of narcissistic. And it's the action that we take to not be that way. It's the action that we take to treat everybody fairly, to tuck that narcissism away, to nurture and try to build our family and grow our family and stuff like that, and not try to take advantage of people and use our words to make them feel bad about their life, yet we're not living our most perfect life, and we're doing just as bad or just as much evil as they are, if not more." But it's the ability for us as men to know that we should not project that out and we should not bring that to other people's lives. Tuck that away because it's not a trait that's attractive. Treat people fairly, grow your family, nurture your family, build your family, and just be a productive member in society. He's right. I never thought about it that way. Well, you have to think about it this way, American country patriot. Control is the biggest character of a narcissist. Do you not want control? Hi, Rich. Here's a good verse. Proverbs 29:2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. When the wicked, the rule of the one. Go. Okay, I see you. Sure, sure, women can be narcissistic. But who doesn't want, like, if it's the true character of somebody that's narcissistic, who doesn't want control? Everybody wants control. Everybody wants some type of control. Sometimes people have a hard time admitting it, but everybody wants some type of control. And if you could control every aspect in your life, you would do it. But the ability to know that you can't, that you won't, that you're not, is the kind of wake up call each individual human being, I think, eventually realizes. You can't be in control of everything. Yeah, sure you can. Inspired by nature. This is it. You should have control over yourself. That's it. That's it. And sometimes we have a hard time doing that. Leading by example and just being feminine. Be feminine. Be into your girly stuff and your whatever it is that you're into and stuff. I don't know what women are. I try not to get into too much of I listen to everything that my soon to be wife has to say. I whenever she wants to talk to me about her girlfriends, whenever she wants to talk to me about her day, whenever she wants to talk to me about all these things, I sit and I listen because I'm her best friend. I want to be there to nurture and support her and be there to provide what she needs in a relationship in a nourishing manner. A lot of men tune their wives out or they'll act like they half listen and stuff like that. And it's one of the things that I think destroys a relationship is when you're not actually paying attention to what your partner is saying. Being able to give good advice back and substance back to them. Um, I can control me, but I can't control other people. And if I am a good listener, if I'm a good provider, a good support, a good defense to my family, it's like my little girl, same thing. Honey, just talk to me about whatever you want to talk to me about. You want to call me a jerk right now? If you're venting and I know you're upset or something like that, and I did something to make you mad and I was wrong for it, call me a jerk. If that's what you want to say, I'm not saying you'll do that. You're not going to get in trouble for it because you're voicing how you feel. I'm okay with that. Same with my soon to be wife. I think we need to do better in our families. We need to do better in our support. We need to do better at work with our employees and stuff like that, just in general. We don't really provide enough of that nourishing nature to other people. But at the same time, understand that being masculine is not it's not a bad thing. And we work through. I was so I don't know. I guess I could admit that I'm a child at times too, and I shouldn't be. Friday when we were leaving the little one's game, everybody was going to stop by McDonald's, and I've been trying to eat healthy and go to the gym every day, and I'm trying to do everything that I can, sometimes two a days. And Friday we were going to the little one wanted to stop by McDonald's, and when we were leaving the parking lot after her volleyball game, mind you, they won their tournament. Um, they won their championship or whatever it is, but then there's another championship, another league that they're in that they faced sometime this week as well. So they have to finish this championship also, and they did a great job. They did absolutely fabulous. These girls, they played their heart out. They gave everything. They laid it on that floor, and they won. Um, when we left, she was kind of sad because she didn't get to play a lot. And we said, "Where do you want to go eat?" And she said, "Well, I'd like to go to McDonald's." So I says, "Okay, we can go to McDonald's." I don't eat from McDonald's. I don't like their food. So every once in a while, I might get something if I'm really ravishingly hungry, but I try not to touch their food at all. But I do like their Shamrock shakes, and that is one thing that I will divulge on. Or I'll dive into. Let's just put it that way. I don't think I'm using that word quite correctly in that term. Um, and I said, you know what? I'm going to have something to drink, or I'll have a shake. That's what I'm going to have when we get to McDonald's. I don't want any food. So we get there. They order their nugget meal and stuff like that. And my fiance, she says, "Oh, can I have two number whatever?" And instead of the a large drink, can we have a large Shamrock shake with each of the meals? And then she turns around and goes to pull forward, and I'm like, "Am I not sitting here? Did you just completely forget about me and not even think that?" And I don't know what happened. It was a moment that I had, and I'm like, I've I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. But that incident where we just got done talking about what we were gonna do in the plan and everything else, pulling through the drive-through, she turns around, orders all the food and stuff like that, and completely forgets about me, and then goes to pull forward. And then as I go to open my mouth, oh crap, I could back up. No, no, don't worry about it. I realized I was being a child. I was literally having, I was about to have a fit, and I tried to get control of myself. I don't know why I felt that way, but I felt like that was personal, and it wasn't. It was something that I created. I created a problem that wasn't a problem. She literally just forgot. And I had to I had to apologize. I felt like a little kid throwing a fit in a candy store that didn't get the candy that they wanted. And I eventually had to apologize, and I was like, yeah, I shouldn't have acted that way. Um, sorry. I don't know what happened. What is Lady Painter, dude, you sound like a straight phony. And you sound like a troll that's operating under some kind of fake account, and you're just here running your mouth, or you're one of my moderators that I have booted off of being a moderator, and you're coming back under a fake name. Yeah, I know she does. I recently had a moderator that's not here on the channel anymore. DT, if you want to, you can take care of it. I trust you guys. I try not to boot people unless they're being super disrespectful. That was kind of borderline. I'm not whatever. Um, but I had a moderator here that was causing some problems, and I had to remove that person. And since then, I've noticed that there's been more troll accounts popping up, people trying to get under my skin. And this person does have a habit of creating multiple accounts to um, troll people and stuff like that, because that's the kind of stuff they're into. And I'm not going to mention any names, but it's been going on now for a little while. I mean, that's not what it was, Jan Perez Fox. It's not what it was. She just forgot. That's all it was. But like I said, I'm human too. I had a moment, and I realized I had to get control of myself, and I apologized for it. But that's part of being a man as well. Is you don't have to be right about everything, and you're gonna make mistakes. You're gonna react to things. Yeah, it is really everything happening in the, and I just want the best for everybody. Yeah, the machine is always broken, and it seems like it is almost always broken. But there's like some kind of scheme behind that machine. There's a contract that's written for a company that's the only people that can service that machine, and it costs an extreme amount of money for that machine to be serviced by this company or something like that. And they basically have control over how and when and who with that machine. I don't get it. Psalms 9:17, the wicked shall be turned into hell, and all nations that forget God. Say her name, remember Lake and Riley? Of course. DT, you just had that whole incident where you had your lungs had to be drained, right? You were sick, right? Do I hate certain clients as a mechanic? I don't hate certain clients as a mechanic. I notice that women are a little bit more difficult to deal with. When the women come in, their vehicles are either very, very, very dirty, they smell really bad, or they have no idea how to explain what's going on with their vehicle. It's broke, fix it. And then they have a hard time deciding whether or not they want to put the money into the vehicle to fix it. Where guys, on the other hand, when they come in, their vehicles are a little tidier, cleaner, they smell better, it's easier to work on it. When you're explaining things to them about what's going on, they typically get it better, and they're more apt to just say, you know what, here's the money, fix the car. I don't need to think about it. I need my car. It's my work vehicle, whatever it is. I need it fixed. So I really don't have a client that I don't like, or an ethnicity or a race or any of that stuff. It's just women are just a little harder to deal with, but I get past it. That's part of being in this business is you learn to communicate differently. And you also have to understand that as a professional in this business, different people have different communication levels and personalities. So you have, when you go through business management training, they teach you all those different personalities, and they'll teach you like the aggressive type, the passive type, the quiet type, the type that needs recognition, that their vehicle is so great and so awesome and so this. There are all these different types of people. And when you learn those personalities and you can communicate with them at those personalities, you typically end up running a business much more successful, and your follow through and your comeback for the customer coming back that trusts you is much higher than other businesses. Women's cars smell like potpourri and summer's eve, but then I don't have that. When they come in here, they stink. They smell like smoke or milk and baby food and clothes, and it's a must. I notice a lot of women, they'll take their clothes and they'll just throw it in the back seat, or they'll when they get off work or something, they'll take their bra off and it's all sweaty and stuff like that, and they'll throw it over in the passenger seat or in the back, or they'll throw their clothes from their gym or something in the back, and they got their nasty shoes and stuff in there, and their socks and stuff, and candy wrappers and food wrappers, and it just starts stinking, man. That women don't see vehicles the same as men do, and I don't get potpourri and summer's eve. Yeah, rolling closet, exactly what it is. Even my women, they're better than when I first got with my fiance and my daughter. Um, they're better than what they were when I got there. When I got with them, the vehicle would have everything, just like all the other women that I see. It would have bottles of stuff, that were for, like, just to have a couple bottles of water in there, a couple snacks in there, or a couple thousand hair ties in there, and a stack of napkins a mile long, and bags stuffed under the seats in case of an emergency, and just extra shoes and bras and clothes, and it's like, ugh, no, get that crap out of these vehicles. No. Inspired by nature. Wait 1 second. Not all women. It sounds like women who have children. It's okay. Look, I ain't talking about all women, and you guys may be the exception because if women are watching me, they typically are into the same type of stuff I'm into. They feel like they're kind of one of the guys anyway, or they just like true aggressive patriotism men. They like listening to them talk about stuff. If women are following me, that's typically what it is. They're into what I'm saying. They believe alike. They feel like they're one of the guys most of the time. So I'm not directly talking to you, the women that are attracted to listening to me talk about things. Typically, you guys aren't like other women. Any recommendation on what kind of tools to always have in your vehicle at times? Ford 7.3. What 7.3? Is it the gas, or is it the diesel? I helped rebuild my brother's 1970 Nova. Yeah, no offense. We respect you guys, and we love you, but it's not. It's truth though. You don't keep up on the maintenance like you're supposed to. You leave the check engine lights on. Most of you don't know anything about filling up tires or looking at wear indicators on tires to figure out when they need to be replaced. Most of you don't know how to change an air filter. You don't know what engine sounds are that are not normal. You just keep driving until something falls apart. And it's just nature of the beast. I get it. And women typically don't respect vehicles like men do because to us, this is an expensive piece of machinery. And typically, the vehicles we buy are a little bit more expensive than what women buy because women don't need power and four-wheel drive and all this other stuff like we see the need for. They want cute and colors that they like and a nice radio or something like that, and they go off about it. It's but us, we're different. We want trucks, four-wheel drive, aggressive, powerful engines and stuff, and we see that, dang man, this $80,000 Super Duty, $100,000 Super Duty, we got to keep this thing clean, man. This is a huge investment. It's a huge expense. Or like me, I got my 99 Vic out there. That thing's clean. You get in it and you sit down, you're like, man, this is a 99. It's clean, man. This doesn't look like this is all wore out. Or the GMC Sierra that I took from the Miss that I started driving, and she took the Ford. She likes driving the Ford better. I went through that thing, scrubbed the carpet, cleaned the carpets, pulled everything out of it, cleaned it. I mean, I was doing all kinds of stuff ain't never been done to that truck. Women typically don't do stuff like that. Are your feet clean? My feet are always clean. I don't have nasty feet as a man. Never. I don't do that stuff. Like other men will just neglect it and let their nails grow all long and stuff. I have multiple manicure, pedicure kits for my hands and my feet. I don't like nasty feet. And my fiance, if she's in here right now watching, she'll tell you I do not like nasty feet. I have to keep my stuff clean all the time. Well, my hands aren't super clean. They're like I burned. There's a giant scar right here right now where I grabbed exhaust last week. I tried to pop it and stick a needle in right there, but it's all hard like leather right now. I grabbed the hot exhaust and I burned the hell out of my hand, and then they're all cut up and mangled up. I've got scars and stuff all over. My palms are all burned by welding stuff falling down on my hands. Yeah, I'm not. My hands aren't. They're cleaner than what they used to be, but they're not that clean. And I think you're right there, Hannah. I think certain women have husbands that have catered to them not cleaning their vehicle for so long that they typically just, oh, he'll do it. It'll be all right. He might fuss a little bit about it, but he'll do it. And then I won't have to do it. But I think that's the nurturing side of men in general. When they see stuff like that, they have to take care of it. I cannot stand stinky feet. I cannot stand nasty feet. If I smell my lady's feet, and there's a couple things I can't stand. And the number one thing is smells. I cannot stand nasty smells at all. It makes me gag. It's a phobia, I guess you could say, of mine. I don't want to smell people's nasty feet. So when I start smelling the little one's feet when she's like in a heavy sports season or something like that, either get rid of those shoes, wash those shoes, go bleach those feet, whatever it is. No, I'm not smelling that. Not in my house. And even with mine, even if I've had a rough day and I wear the wrong pair of socks, and I swear I smell just a little bit of that sweat must from my shoes, no, they gotta be deodorized, they gotta be cleaned, feet gotta be scrubbed. That's just how I am. I'm not. I change and purchase my own filters except the oil because I don't have a lift. I can change all headlights, taillights, brake lights, mounts. Very good. That is awesome. That is freaking awesome. One thing that I find people don't do, and this is going to be disgusting. There's 619 of you on here right now, and I'm going to gross you out right now. When you showered last night or this morning, did you scrub inside your belly button? Stick your finger in your belly button and smell it right now and put in the comment section what it smells like. I bet y'all don't do it. I do. Multiple times a day. I cannot stand it. You know how I came up with that? We were all I'm worried that, if me and my old lady we're about to do the dirty or something like that, and we're about to have our own intimate time together. I don't want her to smell nothing. I don't want her to smell stinky belly button cheese or nasty balls or anything like. My body has to be cleaned up. I cannot stand that. And I find that a lot of people neglect certain areas of their body, especially if you're a bigger person, a little bit overweight. A lot of people don't. They either get tired of the extra effect that they have to clean themselves more or something like that. And my cousin, we were at a family party, and she was standing around in the living room. All the guys were talking, drinking beer and stuff like that, all hanging out. And she says, "Hey, everybody, everybody, everybody." So everybody got quiet in there. And she says, "Hey, how many of you right now can stick your finger in your belly button and rub it around and then smell it and say it doesn't stink like rotten onions?" So people kind of looking at each other and stuff like that. Man, I watched myself. Everybody stick their finger down to half the room. Oh, God, God. Exactly. One of the places people forget. Belly button cheese, we got us a diva. Oh, buddy. You don't know the first thing about calling me a diva. Uh, at 300 to 400 pounds, a person may need a personal care attendant. Nah, that's most people. They know they can navigate. They just don't know how to. You're not fully clean until you're zest fully clean. Get the hell out of here. Oh, children have a better chance if raised by a single father. Yeah. You know, I can kind of see that because I think a single father, is going to teach more of the survival aspect of life and be able to instill that grit and thickness of how hard it is to make it in the world. I don't think the child would be better off though. I think higher survival, higher success rate in certain areas like business and stuff like that, yes. But overall, when it comes to learning how to love and nurture and care for a family and stuff, it's really what women specialize in. It's different. Connie Pritchard Reinhardt. So did more get dropped off, or was there just a catch folks to tune in? What's up, man? Considering the fact that we've been on here for 48 minutes and 50 seconds, Connie, I think you're a little behind. So don't come here saying ignorant stuff. Use some common sense. We're 50 minutes in here. I ain't trying to be rude to you or anything like that, but watch what you say. Let's just put it that way. It's already been covered. You think I'm supposed to just cover it and get off? Or am I going to let 600 people talk and communicate with each other? No, you do that over in Afghanistan and Iraq, John, which I was there. Well, Connie, I'm just saying the way you come here like that, could be taken that way, and I'm giving you what I feel. I'm not mad about it. I'm just telling you, just be more careful with what you say. I can't, with uh, with 140,000 people on here, and then typically between 600 to 1,000 people at one time watching me, my feelings aren't going to be put into the comments whenever I have to address something. It's going to be dry, and it's going to be, watch what you say. Tuned in late. No, not Afghanistan, Iraq. OIF 0709. I was Operation Iraqi Freedom. Left 2007, came back 2009. Was a 15-month deployment. We were the first group through for 15 months. Everybody else at the time was doing like 3 or 6 or whatever it was. And then we went over for, it was supposed to be 6. And when we got over there, they said, no, it's been extended to 12. And then a couple months later, they said, no, it's going to be full 15. I'm a single mother, and I had the best mother in a lot of families I've seen. When it comes to boys, they need their dad. So yes, men are better for boys, but mothers are better for children, or best for children. I agree. What did I have? We went to, my daughter likes a specific restaurant that we went to. Yeah, I know what you mean, John. You said, that's what I'm saying, Rich. It was not a dissertation in women. Fathers are shit on. I know. Yeah, we want our kids to be ready. We want them to be aggressive. We want them to succeed. We want them to be we want them to be successful in life, and that's how we raise our children. That's how I raise my daughter now. Even though there's 2 parents, she's never seen her father before, her birth father. I've been in her life for the last 3.5 years, and me and Grandpa are all she knows as, father figures. And I try to prepare her for the worst. I try to educate her, and I'm very careful with kid gloves, and I explain things to her and teach her about life and stuff in general, and she soaks it up. She listens. The other day, no, yesterday when we were at the St. Patty's Day parade, this guy was coming down the sidewalk, black man coming down the sidewalk, and he had a shirt on that said, fuck Joe and the hoe. And on the back, it said, fuck around and find out. And he was selling these shirts while he was walking through the crowd. And as we're walking forward, my daughter turns around and looks at me and says, well, to both of us, and says, hey, Daddy, or hey, why does everybody hate Joe Biden? And Mom says, oh, it's just some political stuff. And it came out of my mouth. I said, honey, it's because of all the damn corruption and stuff that's involved with him and his family. That's why. I'm just straight with her. I'm not going to lie to her about stuff. But also at the same time, she can draw up her own conclusion on in the future on who she likes and what she believes in. Brothers Abroad Travel, I appreciate you, man. Thank you. No, my first wife, she used me for citizenship. She was Indonesian, and she had been raised here most of her life. I met her in a strip club. She was the security girl at the door, and I'd never been to a strip club before, and I was in my early 20s, and my boys were taking me out for my birthday, and I just kept going back on the weekends, having some beers and stuff like that. And I would hang out with this girl. And then eventually she asked me, are you going to ask for my phone number? I asked for her phone number. We started dating. 3 months later, we were getting married. I'd been single for about 2 years at that point. And she was a good wife for about the first, 5 or 6 months of being married. And then after that, she started spending my money constantly. She was never at home. She wouldn't go cheat on me with other people, but she was always gone with her girlfriends, going on trips, doing this, spending money that. And eventually I got tired of it. And I just said, look, you got to get your shit and get the fuck out. I want you to get your stuff and go. I'm done. And then it took me a couple years to end up figuring out how to divorce her because she kept moving and moving and moving and moving. And finally, I figured it out. I filed for divorce out of Florida, and the clerk of circuit court, I paid like $405. They sent me a big packet of information. I went to a lawyer here in Illinois. He sat down and went through everything. I paid him like $300. He said, you fill out this paperwork, she fills out this paperwork, you have no assets together. Certified mail, send this to her school, and then turn it into the court. And that's what I did. And I actually served her divorce paperwork through school, certified mail, where she was a nursing student at, because she would never accept my calls or tell me where she was living, but I figured out from her girlfriend where she went to nursing school. So I sent it to the nursing school, and she had to sign for it. So they called her out of class to go sign for it. And that's how I served my divorce paperwork. And we got divorced, and I found out that I could have challenged her citizenship and got her deported, but I said, you know what? I don't even want to be any part of that. She looked just like any other blended American. She talked just as white could be. She didn't talk Asian at all. She did speak the language, but she looked like the whitest Asian I've ever seen in my life. Yeah, divorce is hard. But I moved on quick just because I knew she never really cared for me like she should have. She loved just the fun times, and that was it. So it is what it is. In a lemon process for my 21 Bronco Sport, it sucks. It sucks. What a dumb story. Who cares? Adrian, you care because you're obviously here putting time into it. Make it make sense. Another troll, another idiot that will never be able to come up to somebody in public and run their mouth because they're safe behind a computer. Yes, it's my shop. We got 2 lots, one on that side and one on this side. It's not only my shop. I mean, it's mainly my partner shop, but I have money invested here as well. So, yeah. Good morning. If you want, go comment on one of my videos, or you can actually go to my. If any of you need to email me and you want to talk to me about anything, all you got to do is just email me. My email is in my bio here on the channel. If you just click over on the channel about info. What do I think about the dollar losing value? It's going to happen, man. We're printing money that we don't even have, so it's gonna happen. Well, I'm lost. What happened? Oh, my dad got tired of his wife. He brought over here from the Philippines. In the end, she changed the will on us. My dad, sorry. Oh, shit. Sorry, DT. Yeah, it sucks, man. What is the most dependable car company? Still Toyota? Yeah, I would say so. Like a welder? No, I'm not a welder. I'm a mechanic, but I run the shop. So, good morning, Ryan, my brother. I went and seen Ryan this weekend. We went and had lunch. Had a great time. Some male bonding. Was awesome. I am a woman veteran, not masculine, strong-willed. That's awesome, Amelia. Did I hear about the 2 travel vloggers that got gang assaulted by 7 men in India? They're not the only ones that got that. There was a travel vlogger that got kidnapped by the cartel in Mexico. They took him to a detaining station. They tied him up and everything, or cuffed his hands, or zip-tied his hands and stuff together, and threw him in a vehicle, blindfolded him, everything. I mean, when you play with fire like that, this is what's going to happen. Especially if people know you're from social media. Mr. E, he says, what the is a migrant? Like birds flying from the south? Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Yeah, it doesn't really make sense. Electric cars, I think they're garbage. Not sustainable. When you got divorced, your husband thought that you would take the kids to Europe. He got my visa, passport canceled. I got no reason to take my teenage kids and move them overseas. Yeah. Good morning. Good morning from Seattle there. Okay. I see you. I see you. Do you know why I can channel the energy of God and then proceed to crush it? Energy like a mushy turd while listening to terrible rap music? Because I understand humans. Look at this. Look at this shit. It runs the neighborhood. Yeah, and there's no young women that should be traveling alone, should not be walking alone, should not be running alone. Am I going to get a prenup with my upcoming marriage? Plan for the worst, hope for the best? No, I'm not. I've been with her long enough to know that, and I've been with her long enough to know that she would never do anything like that to me. I also know that the way I have stuff set up, really nothing bad could really happen to me. And at the same time, she's not the type of person, her family would never allow it. It wouldn't happen. She is completely into me. Like, I love her to death. She loves me to death. And there's nothing that makes us even make comments about other people or other women or flirt with anybody else. Or we just don't do that stuff. We've been together for 3.5 years, and it's like, some things have changed. The chase has went down a little bit, and I tried to explain to her that you never want the chase. You never want to stop chasing each other. If you ever stop chasing each other, that's when stuff starts to fall apart. You always want to try to be fresh, stay on your toes, always worry about trying to please the other person. Not purposely going out of your way and stuff like that unless it's a special occasion, but the chase. It's nice to have somebody chase you, to know that they still want you just as much as they did when they met you. And when that fire burns out, it's very difficult to stay not only in love, but in love and infatuated at the same time with somebody together, not just one. You can't have one without the other if you really, really want something to be strong and last. And I love her to death. There's nothing I wouldn't do for her. And everything that I do in my life, I'm always considering her and my little one on, is this the right choice? Is this right for the family? Is this right for them? Not only me. So
I have no doubts in my mind she'd ever do anything. Today's Chicago's birthday. Did the guy with no money ever come back? No. Beautiful sunrises and sunsets. My husband and I still chase each other after 33 years. That's the only way that you're ever going to keep anything alive that long with somebody. You have to still chase each other. It's fun. It's youthful. It's meaningful. It's, you know, I still go up to her and slap her on her ass or something like that every once in a while, and, well, quite a bit. She's got a nice ass. And I still hug her in public and rub on her back and stuff like that and massage her shoulders, and the affection that I give her. We look at other couples that after a year or two, they don't do any of that anymore. They quit doing it. They don't touch each other anymore. They don't say nice things to each other anymore. The chase needs to be there. And I notice a lot of that. After a few years, it just falls apart. And I never want her to feel like she doesn't have that with me. I always want her to know that I am pursuing her, that I will never not pursue her. Yeah, it could be. Hmm. No, she hasn't found a new job. She's what she's doing is she's already an independent contractor for counseling, like crisis counseling and stuff like that. She works with people that really need somebody to back and support them in a tough time in their life. And she's a professional in that manner. So even though Panera Bread did what they did, and now they're caught up in this scandal with Gavin Newsom and stuff like that out in California, what she did was she just upped her clients with the counseling stuff, and she's slowly increasing her workload, so it's starting to wash what she lost when she lost the job with Panera. This one here, the Toyota with the rotten fuel tank, that the new one is going in. Me and one of the other fellows put that together on Friday, and all right, guys, I'm gonna jump off of here. The missus is calling right now.